Is there a better way to start off the year than with a brand new game announcement from CyberConnect 2? Yeah, probably. I can think of a few ways. But this is a pretty good one. Except they didn't really announce a game, they announced an announcement. Regardless, this is CyberConnect 2, the makers of the Storm series, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles. Whatever they do, it is worthy of our attention. So the company president and CEO Matsuyama-san announced during a special New Year's livestream that they'll announce a game in February, and that's a game that is planned to release in the summer, so a very short time between announcement and release. He also shared some sales numbers for the recent CyberConnect 2 titles. Storm 4 surpassed 8.7 million units sold worldwide. That is almost 9 million units. That is very, very impressive for an anime game. Kakarot is at 4.5 million, and Demon Slayer, with only 3 months since its release, is sitting at 1.32 million. All very good numbers. Each one of these games could be considered a commercial success. Well, depending on how the publisher sees it. But in general, these are very good numbers for video games. But instead of looking at sales figures and at the past, let's look at the future, at the possibility at what's coming up from CyberConnect 2. We're getting a brand new game this summer, and we only have to wait a month to know what it is. And according to Matsuyama-san, the new title to be announced will definitely get people talking and promises to be something that will shake the world. Coming up next month, guys, I'll be making a video that is so good that it will shake up the world. And then in the summer, you guys will see the best video you have ever seen in your entire lives. So make sure to subscribe by hitting the button down below. It's free and you won't miss out on this opportunity to see something that is truly life-changing. Yeah, this is a game developer saying that the game they're making will shake the world. So take it with a grain of salt. This has the same energy as that Kojima tweet where he reviewed the trailers he's done in the past and has to say it's all well done. But what could this game be? As soon as the news broke out, I tweeted out, "Start your bets, my money's on Jujutsu Kaisen." Because to me, that is the biggest series at the moment that just does not have a game. Well, not a console game. There's a mobile game announced. CyberConnect 2 aren't really known for making a lot of mobile stuff, so I'm definitely expecting a console game here. And Jujutsu Kaisen is, in my opinion, the biggest hole that we have in this space right now. And most of you guys actually agreed in the replies to this tweet. In fact, reading the replies was so awesome because I think it paints a really nice picture of what the fans are expecting from this announcement. Now, Matsuyama-san also mentioned having some plans for the Dot Hack series, and those plans should come to fruition in June or something, so I think we're talking about two separate things. I don't think the game he's talking about is going to be a dot hack. It's going to be something else. Something like a new JoJo game, which was one of the most popular replies in this thread. Yes, you guys agree JJK would be amazing, but man, a JoJo game? Yeah, we'd be down for that. And I think the timing kind of lines up. The last JoJo game we got was Eyes of Heaven back in 2015, also developed by CyberConnect 2. That is if you don't count Last Survivor that came out in arcades, and most of us didn't play that. And since we got a new season very recently, I mean, the timing kind of lines up for a new JoJo game. Now, outside of All-Star Battle back in 2013, I don't think any of the JoJo games actually sold super well, but that actually helps this theory that yes, this game is going to be a JoJo game because they are announcing it in February and then they're releasing it in the summer. That's only a few months of promotion. A bigger game usually has a bigger pre-release marketing plan. Months of trailers and small announcements here and there building up the hype until the eventual release. Since this is a smaller time period, marketing budget isn't as big, so something like a JoJo actually makes perfect sense and the timing lines up. I think that's a very good guess. I feel like Black Clover should get another chance. Imagine going through the anime, but now it's in the power of CC2. Sign me the fuck up. Sign me up too, but I think this one is a little less likely. Now, Black Clover is still decently popular, not as big as it used to be, probably. At least I don't feel like I see it as often popping up in, I don't know, random threads or popularity charts. It's still big enough to make new games, but they did just announce a pretty big mobile game, or at least it looks pretty big. I don't know if Black Clover is big enough now to justify two games being developed at the same time, even though they're very different games. One would be a console game, another one would be a mobile game. It's just not a show that has that kind of power, not anymore at least. So while it is possible, and I don't want to shoot down your hopes, it's not as big of a possibility as a new JoJo or a new Jujutsu Kaisen game. Attack on Titan would be brilliant. That is even less likely. Koei Tecmo, I believe, still holds the Attack on Titan license, and I don't see CyberConnect 2 working with them. Not that CyberConnect 2 is a Bandai Namco studio or anything like that. For a while, it did look like CyberConnect 2 and Bandai just worked on every game together. But recently, we've seen CyberConnect 2 self-publish Fuga and also publish Demon Slayer with Sega and Aniplex. So there's definitely a studio that's up for hire, and they'll work with any publisher if the project is good enough. Could they work with Koei Tecmo on an Attack on Titan game? Yes. theoretically that is possible. But Koei Tecmo is a publisher that doesn't really hire external studios very often. Most of their stuff is done with in-house studios. So them taking Attack on Titan and instead of giving it to Omega Force, who has been developing Attack on Titan games for this long, taking that and giving it to CyberConnect 2, I don't think it's very likely to happen. I bet it's just Shinobi Strikers 2 or something else that's online only. I lost faith in them, so I'm not excited. What are you talking about? Shinobi Striker has nothing to do with CyberConnect 2. That was developed by Soleil. And if you don't want something that's online only, if you want something that's more focused to single player, yeah, CyberConnect 2 is probably one of the best studios you could ask for. The Storm series was always story first and multiplayer second. Kakarot didn't even have multiplayer, it's just a single player game. So I don't know what you're on about. They said it could be Kakarot 2 because it's gonna happen at DBZ event in February. That's right, the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour is happening on the 19th of February, and last year we did get a few announcements. One of those announcements I think was the Trunks DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Battle Hour usually features all kinds of Dragon Ball games. They have tournaments for the trading card game. They usually have a Dragon Ball FighterZ tournament. There's usually some Xenoverse things going on as well. Probably. And there are also game announcements, so the timing lines up perfectly. If they are announcing a game in February, they could be in the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. And if they are taking Dragon Ball Z Kakarot into Dragon Ball Super, I definitely think the game won't be as big as Kakarot was, and I wonder if it would even be a new game or maybe just a standalone DLC that would cost, I don't know, 40 bucks. It would cover the tournament arcs, everything that came after the Golden Frieza DLC, up until the end of the Tournament of Power. In fact, I hear that Dragon Ball Super is coming back later this year, so the timing could line up. And it's definitely not that big of a game that would require months and months of marketing. Announcing that in February, promoting it until the summer, yeah, I think that lines up. That is a very good guess as well. A Hunter x Hunter game would be so dope. Yeah. It would. I have nothing to say. It would be super dope. We're just grasping at straws here though. Demon Slayer 2. Way too early for Demon Slayer 2. Yeah, I don't think we'll see a Demon Slayer 2 until we are watching Demon Slayer Season 3. The previous Demon Slayer game was announced like 2 years before it released. It's a really big time between announcement and release. It was insane. I don't think they would do that again for a sequel. I don't think they would announce it super early. But also, imagine they released the final DLC character for Demon Slayer in January. Are they gonna announce the sequel the very following month and then release it in the summer when season 2 is over? I mean, is that enough content for a full sequel? Because I don't think we would get a lot more characters than we currently have, and story mode would just be season 2, which I've made a video on how that story could be interesting and perhaps even bigger than the season 1 story, but releasing it in the summer is just too early, especially because the roster wouldn't grow that much. I really do think that unlike previous CyberConnect 2 games, Demon Slayer is not a story game first. They pay a lot of attention to story mode for sure, but they are also investing hard in character balance and making the game competitive, that it's not like the Storm games where they completely ignore that part and just make a good story mode, and the rest, you know, here, figure it out, community. Make up some rules and try to make this as competitive as you can. No, I really think their focus is on both sides, and if one of those sides is not going to improve that much, I don't think it's happening. I hope the new game is a better netcode at this point. Yeah. Me too. Oh, CyberConnect 2 has to figure out netcode. I think they did experiment a little bit with Demon Slayer. It feels different from the Storm games. In my opinion, it feels better, but that is something that a few players disagree on. That said, they are trying stuff out. I just don't see it happening so soon. CyberConnect 2 is not gonna get good at netcode in 1 year. That just doesn't happen. Maybe it's One Piece because of the Odyssey trademark. Our new Dragon Ball game by them, Dragon Ball Game Hours, is in February. Dragon Ball Battle Hour. And yeah, we talked about that, but good callback to the Odyssey trademark. A few months ago, One Piece Odyssey was trademarked, so there is a game being developed with that name. We just don't know what it is or who is making it. That said, a One Piece game is usually a pretty big event. It's usually a game that you don't announce in February and release a few months later. It's something that usually has a bigger marketing budget. There's a bigger promotion as well. This seems like too short of a time span for a big One Piece game. It could happen. I don't think it's the case though. Xenoverse 3. That's not CyberConnect. But we haven't even talked about the most popular reply to this thread yet, and that is Bleach. A Bleach game since the anime is coming back in October. Yes, this is the time. The return of Bleach games is upon us, and I'm here to crush your dreams. No, I do not think this is a Bleach game. And here's why. Bleach is returning in October. If you have a game ready to ship in the summer, you just delay it. You don't release it in the summer, you release it in the holiday season, which is a very hot season for video games. I mean, it can get a little bit competitive because games are fighting for space and trying not to be drowned by other releases, but anime games have always sort of existed in their own bubble. You don't release a Bleach game in the summer if the anime is coming out months later. It's just not a smart thing to do. It could happen, it could 100% happen, but because I think that's pretty dumb, I don't think that's what's actually going to happen here. I don't think that's the game. In October, Bleach shows up on your screen, the anime is back, it's finally here. You watch the episode, now you gotta wait a week until you watch the next one. What do you do in between? Bam, video game. That is how you release a Bleach game if it is ready to ship this summer. You don't ship it in the summer, you ship it at the same time as the anime. And for that reason, I don't think CC2 is making a Bleach game. I think someone should be making a Bleach game. If they're not, they're just leaving money on the table. Ideally, the game would release this year if it is ready, but sometimes companies take a long time to, approve this kind of stuff. So maybe a game just started development recently and won't be out until next year or something. But either way, I don't think you release a Bleach game this summer, right when the anime is about to come back. You capitalize on it the best you can. And hey, if it does happen, if a Bleach game gets announced next month, I'll be just as excited as you are. I just think it's a little too optimistic to expect this game to be Bleach. And that is how we're kicking off 2022, with CyberConnect 2 teasing something very exciting. What game do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comments down below, and we'll for sure follow up on this once the game gets announced. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure to subscribe, hit the button down below. We are shooting for 500,000 subs in 2022. That's right, that's an ambitious goal. We are doubling the amount of subs that we have on the channel. We can only do it with your help, so if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click the button. It is free, and you don't want to miss these updates. So as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye!